Milwaukee Bucks, they fired Adrian Griffin. Man, this guy was just in the job for 6 months and he got fired even before the trade deadline. And the shocking move that I saw the Bucks do was just hire Doc Rivers, a man that has blown so many 3-1 leads in the NBA for the teams that he's played for. And this is a report that I've seen on Fadeaway World, and you can see Giannis Antetokounmpo lost faith in Adrian Griffin Jr. before the shocking firing. So Giannis, lack of belief in the new head coach is what prompted the Bucks to fire him, even when the team was 30-13. So the Bucks looked like they were clicking. They made that trade to get Damian Lillard to pair alongside Giannis, and they just tried to retool around him. And the Milwaukee Bucks fired their former head coach Adrian Griffin Jr. less than 6 months to his stint as the head coach after he joined in the offseason to replace Mike Budenholzer. So Mike Budenholzer, he was let go by the Bucks, and the Bucks are 30-13, holding the second best record in the East. So their strong form has led to questions about Griffin, why he was let go by the Bucks. And Chris Mannix revealed that some veterans, including Giannis, had lost faith in this rookie head coach. So Chris Mannix, he came out with some damning statements that were made that he was able to get from his sources. So there has been steady rumblings for weeks in NBA circles that several Bucks veterans, including Giannis, have lost faith in Griffin, what appeared to be a smart hire last spring, but just never worked out. So you can see it's not even on the on-court, because if you look at record-wise, it's not like they were a losing team, but I feel like there were those intangibles that were not present with Adrian Griffin when he took the squad, because on paper you could see the Bucks are actually moving on quite well right now. They even won their game today. They have improved to 31-13, but there was an on-court or not even on-court, off-court issue that Adrian Griffin had with the Milwaukee Bucks and that team. So there has been steady rumblings in the NBA. So you could see Chris Mannix when he came out with this. This is something that I even expected, because there's no way a team would make a radical decision to fire their head coach, and looking at even their record, they're actually good, because the majority of the time when I look at a firing, it has to occur when the team is losing and there's no direction of the team. And even the person I was expecting to get laid off was a guy like Coach Monty Williams of the Detroit Pistons. So those are the guys that's the type of coach that I expected to get fired, but not an Adrian Griffin. But the shocking thing is their record. So in addition, the team acquired Damian Lillard, and ultimately when he got into the roster, he was actually struggling a bit to get on his offense, especially in that system. And majority of the time, I can even attribute the reason as to why Adrian Griffin got fired is his offensive schemes. His offensive schemes are not the greatest. So sometimes when I look at this whole situation, it's about the coach knowing what lineups to run and what players to fit in, and also making sure that your best player is satisfied. So along the way, the league sources say Lillard has spent much of this season struggling with the way Bucks function on the offensive end, while he had remained patient with the coaches and teammates. There was inevitable pressure on Griffin from the organization to make the most out of Damian Lillard's talent in the kind of way that validates the choice they had, especially when they parted ways with Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, and 3 first-round picks in order to land Damian Lillard. So the pressure had been mounting on Griffin from the start of the season after experienced NBA coach Terry Scott quit Griffin's staff before the season started. Now the Bucks are looking at experienced replacement, and even as per reports you could see they got in Doc Rivers, and I feel like that was a very bad move. I didn't like it at all. Even I reacted to that move on X, and it looks like there's drama in paradise, because I was expecting the Bucks to be able to have figured it out right now, because when they started, it wasn't as good, but now when the season has just progressed, things are just not moving on the way they intend to be. So Giannis is handpicking his coaches, and as per making of this video, the Bucks have reached to an agreement to sign Coach Doc Rivers. And Doc Rivers has not had the best coaching tenure, dating back to the his Orlando Magic days. He blew a 3-1 lead there. His Lob City days, he blew a 3-1 lead there. He blew a 3-1 lead with the Clippers. He blew a 3-1 lead with the Clippers back then when Blake Griffin was there. And most recently, you could see his failures, especially when it came to even the current version of the Clippers when he went ahead and coached that team with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So they blew a 3-1 lead there. And looking at his stint with the Sixers, there's a reason as to why he got fired. So I really don't understand this signing at all. I'll make a video just talking about it. So Giannis reportedly refused to endorse Nick Nurse to take over the Bucks, according to Mark Stein. Nurse went over to coach Embiid and the Sixers. So you could see Giannis has so much leverage and power right now because he's a two-time MVP and NBA champion. He has the ability to be Giannis GM. I don't want to say like GM because he's now Giannis GM. He's the one who's selecting. Even I saw a video that quite shocked me because there's this time Giannis was drawing up plays. It's like the way the team just reacted, especially when the coach was fired. I even saw a video that they were just dancing when they saw Adrian Griffin. He was no longer on the team even before the game started. So you could see it was not even a matter of on the court, it was off the court and knowing what schemes to run for the team. That's the reason as to why the man got fired. And this is something that you expect for in high high standard organizations like the Milwaukee Bucks. They look at rebuilding and also maximizing on Damian Lillard. Remember, Damian Lillard is on that max contract he signed with the Trailblazers, and when the most pressure came to Adrian Griffin, he had to figure out a way to fit Giannis and Lillard in that offense, know how to use the pick and roll. And looking at the price tag that Damian Lillard, it costed a lot to get Damian Lillard. So if the front office is not pleased with a coach and doesn't justify it doesn't even justify and be able to to explain his moves, he's gonna get fired eventually, even if the record is actually as good with a 30-13 record. I believe there are only two teams that have 30 plus wins. So you have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Milwaukee Bucks, and also the Boston Celtics. So the thing is, if Adrian Griffin was not able to fix that whole situation on offense on time, he's gonna lose the trust of the locker room, and that's actually what happened. So yeah, man, I mean, I'll just be making an update on this whole situation, but it's apparent that Giannis already lost faith in his coach. When Giannis started drawing plays on the bench and he's going and implementing those plays, that's when you know that the coach has lost all respect from his star player. And if the star player disrespects the coach, all the others do the same because they follow Giannis. And if he's not able to deliver on knowing what plays to run, of course he's just going to get disrespected. So I'll just be making a couple of videos just talking about this whole situation, because my god, it was just insane what just happened, because I was not expecting such a radical change, but apparently it looks like irreparable differences inside that locker room and inside and also not being answerable to the front office. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this whole situation. And I'm out. Peace.